Well, g'day legends. Welcome back to Trippin' at Oz, the Kimberly episode 10, part 1 of the Gibb River Road. So we wrapped up our Kununurra adventure in episode 9 and we headed off with a quick stop at Wyndham before starting on our adventure down the Gibb, where we travel on some of the worst roads in Western Australia, but also stay in some of the best places we have ever seen. So once again, grab a drink and a seat and watch the adventures unfold with its ups and its downs.
Morning guys, here we are, Wyndham. Not much to see as this here. It's just down at the jetty of the wharf at the moment. This is the part of town. I'll show you more when we get back there. But this is the jetty, and a little bit of a sign over here about the place. 1886 to 1944. Picture of a big handbag. Let's go and have a look, see if we can see some handbags, eh?
Now, we only had a quick stop at Wyndham, had a look at the port. I really wanted to try a crocodile pie, but when I got to the bakery I was very disappointed. They were all out of stock and they weren't going to be ready for another 2 hours. Anyway, I bought a barramundi lemon pie and it was very good. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, so we headed off after there. Our goal was to get to the Pentecost River and camp there for a few days. We stopped at El Questro and went in and had a quick look, and then we headed off again.
Cause I went to war for you, took me through hell and back. That's where I'm headed at. I ain't scared to die no more.
Well, good morning again. Left Wyndham, we're now on the Gibb River Road. Just got to the old Questro turn off. It's pretty spectacular already out here. We're going to go in El Questro and have a look. We're not going to stay here. We'll keep plodding along a bit later on and see where we end up. But yeah, this is it.
It's not ever hard for me to cry no more. Put the pillow to my eyes no more. Tell the truth, I ain't really scared to die no more.
And here we are guys, it's right, Pentecost River. Absolutely beautiful. A bit warm in the sun. A lot of room between the campers. It's all free camp along here. Apparently there's a few handbags in this river too. I haven't seen any. I went down there and had a flick with a bait caster. It's going to be an excellent spot to camp tonight. A bit dusty. Pity we didn't get a shady spot, but they were all taken. All the good, real good spots. But happy with this. Little track down there.
Here we are at the Pentecost River. Didn't bother checking into El Questro. It was just chaotic in there. Beautiful, impressive, but not what we were looking for. So here we are on the Pentecost River. I'll give you a little look. Roy's doing his best to have a little fish. Tide's right out. See a few people camped up that way. We saw some cows. Oh, there's Roy with his beer. Well sought after beer. Tried to buy some beer in Kununurra last night, only to be told we could only get the mid-strength, 3.5%, and 1 bottle of wine because there was a funeral going on in town, and that was the instructions from the police, local police. But then we noticed some people, Roy noticed some people walk out with a bottle of Corona, I think it was. Not a bottle, a whole carton of Corona. So he questioned that, went, oh yeah, it's okay for tourists if you're happy to sign the paperwork. For some reason they thought we were locals. Might have been because we'd both been in a couple of times buying some alcohol. There are limits all throughout the Kimberleys, what alcohol you can buy. It's 1 carton and 3 bottles of wine. So we haven't been going through it that fast. And you've got to give your ID. So it's all recorded electronically. You hand over your driver's licence and it records that on that day you've made those purchases. So if you try and get away with it anywhere else, it's not going to happen. Oh, we've got some visitors. We like to keep our space, so hopefully they'll move on. That's us up there. And there they go, moving along, looking for a good quiet spot like we did. There were some cows up there before, walking across, having a drink on those rocks.
Hey guys, here we are, still at the river. It's just sunset now, so it's absolutely beautiful. Some people just told us there's a 3.5 metre croc swimming around up the bank of the river on the other side, possibly. We've had some heap of young people just moving up from us. We thought we were going to have peace and quiet tonight. Drove as far away as possible from everyone, and they are running amok. Anyone think I wasn't young once? Anyway, you can see up there someone's got a fire going. Apparently up there is where the croc is though. Beautiful. Love it. Time to get the shower out and have a cold shower. And we just had steak burgers. I'll tell you what, the steak up here is about $5 a kilo cheaper than Perth. And from Kununurra, I've bought 3 lots. Now, I can tell you now, the steak up here is 10 times better than in Perth. It just tastes so nice, it's so tender, it just falls apart when you're eating it. And yeah, it's $5 a kilo, at least cheaper than Perth. There's my beautiful wife, who just helped me cook dinner. And she cleaned up. And we're gonna have a couple of drinks and climb into bed and maybe listen to some music and chill.
So we did climb into bed and listen to music, but it wasn't ours, unfortunately. The young guys up the river from us, they're only about less than 100 metres from us, just had their music cranked up full blast all night, arguing, fighting, and just being, disrespectful to everybody in the whole campsite. At one point they were shining their spotlights into people's tents on the other side of the river and upsetting them. Anyway, it kept going on. 5 o'clock in the morning, without any sleep, I eventually got up and we decided we were going to pack up and leave just in case they were staying a bit longer. Anyway, we packed up and headed off, only to have a few more troubles just up the track. to add to the dramas, on the way out I got Karen to get out and do a little bit of videoing, and as we drove off you could hear the tyre making a bit of a hissing noise, not continuously but just as it went around. And I got out and had a look, and sure enough there was the split in the tyre that has been there for about 2 years. Had finally opened up enough for it just to let air out every time it went over it and split it open. So I just babied it back to the main road because there was absolutely nowhere to change it there. It was so rough, and I got to the main road, spent about 15 minutes changing it over. I was so tired with no sleep, and yeah, even where we changed on the side of the road it was really rough and dirty. But anyway, we got it changed. I didn't video the crossing of the actual Pentacross. There was hardly any water there anyway, and we headed off again. And yeah, I need to have a few more dramas a little bit further up the track. So we decided to pull into Home Valley Station, have a quick look and pinch a bit of their internet. But when we got in there we thought we might stay there, but it was actually very full in there and very crowded. So we decided we'd keep going. I still had one more spare tyre and thought we'll head up towards the Mount Barnett and go to the Manning Gorge or somewhere like that. But anyway, as we left, we got about 10 minutes down the road and sure enough, another tyre exploded, which wasn't much fun. So I had to change another tyre. We were just short of Ellenbray Station, so I called up on the radio to them and asked them if they had any tyres, and they said that they may have some in stock if we wanted to stop in and have a look, so that's what we did.
There you go guys, just arrived at Ellenbray Station. I'm going to stay here for a couple of nights, possibly 2 anyway. Really nice in here, beautiful.
While walking across the car park here, I looked up and there was Ian and Janelle, who parked next to us at the Kununurra Caravan Park. They'd just stopped in for a scone, and they weren't staying but their friends were, so they went down with them and then they headed off. It wasn't the last time we seen them.
Sorry, camera cut out. It's yeah, had to get 4 new tyres in. These ones are just about napped. We've done 2 blowouts in about an hour and a half this morning, so we're just going to go and set up camp now. I'll get back onto it with you later. See ya. Good morning guys, we're at Ellenbray Station again this morning. Got the news, tyres will be in tomorrow about 10 o'clock hopefully. Caravan park, everyone's evacuated. A couple of people have moved. One guy's got his caravan sitting down there, he's going to have to get it towed out because it's broken an axle off, snapped an axle off. But yeah, we're just going to go for a walk down to the waterhole, have a swim, and come back, have some lunch, and just chill for the day. Hopefully a bit more shade will come in by then. But anyway, we'll catch you on the track. That's the tyre that blew out. That one split here. Just slow leak on that one, but it was getting worse as we drove out. It actually got flat. That's the camp kitchen and toilets and showers. We'll give you a look in there a bit later. Anyway, here we go. Apparently this is only 100 metres long, so not too far.
So we've got to watch out for snakes and dingoes.
Yeah.
A few dingoes sighted.
We heard a scream early last night.
We did, didn't we?
Lady swearing and telling them to get out.
We didn't know what that was though, the scream and the swearing, we didn't know.
See ya! A couple we just met, the poor buggers had lost the wheel off the trailer, caravan. And he spent 4 hours looking for his wheel, couldn't find it. Just flung off that far into the bush. Brand new tyre on it. He's a bit devastated. But they're getting it towed to Kununurra to get it fixed on Thursday. Anyway, back to our dingoes. The lady was swearing and told it to get lost. And this morning we heard on the radio, she was telling me over the two-way radio to the Allenbro station owners that there was dingoes down here, which they did warn us about.
Spotted several, and we were told not to leave food scraps and rubbish out. That would just bring them into camp.
So anyway, we're going to go swim in their swimming hole because it's bloody hot. And, yeah, it's very nice in here. It's awesome to be alive and be in here.
Saw a couple of roos jumping around this morning.
Yeah, a couple of kangaroos jumping past the camp along the creek bed.
Moving real fast.
Yeah, they ran as soon as they seen Karen. I'm not meaning to be awful, but they were
Bounding.
Yes.
Probably a turtle lizard.
Panic! Run! Oh, look, I can see a beautiful water hole in there. Start to see it now. Is it worthy of a swim? That's nice. Very nice in here. I think I'd hop in there. Don't like not being able to see the bottom, but apparently there's no crocodiles here, so that's good. Wander. Maybe I should just throw Karen in first. She gets eaten. I know not to go in.
Also, I'd just like to say that Logan and Larissa were fantastic at Allenbray Station. When we called up, they said, yeah, come in, we might have some tyres. Unfortunately, they didn't. Our size was not the size that they carry. They carry the common 16-inch, but not the 17 at that point. But he still, on a Sunday, went out of his way and tried to call the tyre shop owner in Kununurra to see if he could get some for me the next day. He knew the truck was coming to pick up a caravan that had busted a wheel off and snapped the axle, so he was hoping to get it on that truck, but unfortunately the truck had already left by the time he got hold of him early in the next morning. So we stayed one more night, and they arrived the next day approximately about 10 or 11 o'clock, I think it was, and he was straight into it, fitting them up for us, and yeah, it was fantastic. It was great to have a break there, and we got to go out to Sandy Gorge, which was only for the people that stayed at Allenbray, and Logan said I could put the drone up out there as there was no mail plane that day or any choppers around, so yeah, it was great. So if you want to use your drone, make sure you ask Logan. He does have one himself and enjoys it as well, so don't be shy. Anyway, just like to say thanks to them again, and I hope you guys can take on board that they are a fantastic couple and well worth a visit there.
Just so you know where we're going. Now, this is Sandy Gorge apparently. I'm just walking out to 500 metres. So we'll go for a little bit of a wander and have a look. And yeah, show you along the way. 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 Show you along the
Also, the tyres weren't that expensive. Well, they weren't as expensive as I thought they would be anyway. Some people might say they are at $500 a tyre, but when somebody goes out of their way to help you to get 4 tyres and bring them in on a truck, personally, I think that it was well worth the money to get them in. I didn't ask him how much they were, I just ordered them, and I was very surprised. I was actually expecting a lot more. Well, after looking around Sandy Beach Gorge and having a swim, putting the drone up, we decided to go back to the caravan park and clean ourselves up and have a rest and a few drinks. And I was sorting out the back of the car with a bit of gear, and another vehicle turned up and parked over from us, and it was a Toyota Land Cruiser, and he had a camper trailer on as well, and the Cruiser had Wildcatcham number plates on it. Now, I went to school at Wildcatcham when I was 10 or 11, so I went over to say hello to see if I could recognise him. Anyway, we were having a bit of a yak. His name was Ian, and he was saying that he was with another couple and he was just fixing his brakes on his camper trailer. I offered him to use my tools, and he said no, his friend will be there shortly, he's got it all sorted, not to worry about it. But yeah, he knew my family, some of my friends and that I grew up with. Anyway, his mate turned up, and he came over, and the 2 wives went off to Allenbury into the actual station and grabbed some their awesome scones with jam and cream. Anyway, I was talking to this guy, his name was Cookie, and he was from Muckambood or Ben Cubbon, somewhere around there, I can't remember, sorry mate. But yeah, when his wife came back, he introduced me to her, and she's looking at me funny, and her name was Lynn McAndrews, her maiden name. And I says, actually, I think I used to live on a farm with McAndrews. And she goes, yeah, what's your dad's name? And I told her, and amazingly enough, she was, I think she said she was 9 and I was 3. I do remember the farm, and I remember it was the first time I ever rode a bike, and I remember the house, and just about blowing the house up one night. Long story. Anyway, yeah, we got to talking. It's just amazing the people you meet in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, I ended up having a few drinks with them that night and talking about all the people we knew and catching up. It was fantastic. Once again, you know, it doesn't matter where you are, there's always people that you can reach out to. So yeah, it was a very enjoyable night and a very enjoyable stay. Hi to you guys if you're watching. And yeah, the next morning we packed up after having the tyres fitted, and we headed off on our way. Well, that wraps up the end of part 1 of the Gibb River Road episode 10. Can't wait to show you part 2 next week. Anyway, I would like to say thanks for watching, and if you like this episode, please hit the thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Also, if you want to be notified when the next show comes up, press the notification bell as well. Anyway, thanks again, and please take care and stay safe.